You flushed like 200 cool points away,
It's
love.
okay. As long as what I said was factual, that's all that matters.
Nothing was
Cool
factual.
points are based off of opinion. Okay.
No, where'd you get that fact from?
That's a fact. Where do cool points come from? Is there an actual scale that says this is what makes somebody cool and everybody in
Yeah,
the world agree on it? No,
yeah. I'll
it's
show you
not.
after the show. It is.
It's
Everybody doesn't.
not. You be telling.
Everybody ain't cool. They don't get the scale.
Oh, whatever. We're live, sir. We're
Yeah,
live.
hey, I know we live. Welcome to Plug Talk 4. We just had an interesting conversation backstage. I'm not going to mention what we was talking about because one of the other guests isn't here. But we're going to move into our topics anyway. Well, listen, look, we can save the other topic and just talk about the P Diddy documentary, so we could give Cuzzo a chance to maybe catch up next week, or if y'all free this weekend, we might could just get a extra one in if y'all want to do that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
it's on. What you think,
Uh,
Demarty?
yo, let's go. I'm here. I'm here for it.
All right, so we'll just cover the second topic, which was the P Diddy documentary. Have y'all guys seen that?
Of course.
I knew
Of
Love seen it.
course. Of course. I want
I
to hear,
told you
of
you're the
course.
only one
What you want?
lacking on this, Demarati.
Yo,
You
I want to hear. Love, I want to hear your what you got out of it.
Ooh, you got that East Coast remind me of that documentary. What did I get out of it? Or are you
Oh
asking me
shit!
what kind of drew
Yo,
me to it?
Did she just say you had a diddler accent?
I did not say
yo,
he have a
yeah, that
diddler
sounded
accent. I
crazy.
said it reminds me of that. It's a lot of New
Yeah.
Yorkers in the
Nah, love, you coming for me today for no
Hey,
reason.
no,
hey,
Yo,
what came around and makes me saying pause? You got to hit that with a pause.
no.
pause, man.
Yo,
But yo,
By the way, they got that from
dang,
Dame
dang that.
Dash.
Yeah, we know who started
yeah,
it.
they
They
from
keep it.
Harlem.
Yeah,
Come on.
them Harlem niggas.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you want to know what drew me into it? I mean, I grew up in the 90s, you know. Of course, I was a Diddy fan. I was a big Diddy fan. I ain't gonna lie.
You look
Even
like
as a
you a
kid,
big
I
Diddy
was getting
fan.
like all the CDs and stuff. I was cutting out cutting them out of the magazines.
Did you buy a lot of baby oil?
No, I didn't. But
Oh,
I was into until I got, out into college. When I got into college, then things became a little bit more clear about not only him but other people as well that I kind of like their music or they swag or whatever you want to say,
yo, these niggas used to wear shiny suits. That was swag.
I mean, when we was yeah.
Nah, nah. What happened to it, man?
Yo,
So,
your camera went black, love. Yeah,
you got to
she'll be
get it.
back, man. Yo, I wasn't a fan of the shiny suits,
Right.
but
Nobody was.
the music, the music that they was coming out with, was good, man.
Did you dance to it? Was you dancing?
Yeah,
They
some
made a
of the
lot of
songs,
dance
yeah.
music. Puff
Huh?
was involved in a lot of dance music, man, with shiny suits and big fans blowing like they had wind blowing on them.
He didn't. He had a big fan. I'm trying to think. Was that video with him and Mace? Been around the world. Are you talking about that video?
Terrible.
Yeah,
That
I
yeah,
was
was,
the
they got
joint.
mad
Y'all know
songs
y'all was
together.
in there doing that dance, that Diddy
what?
dance, that two-step
No,
Diddy dance that
no,
he
No,
be
no,
I
doing.
wasn't
no,
doing none of the
no,
dances,
no,
but
no.
the songs were cool. I'm not even gonna front.
Demarachi would proudly say he confuses me all the time with a West Coast nigga because I fuck with the West Coast heavy back then. The East Coast too, but I was a fan of pop. I was definitely a fan of NWA. I was definitely a fan of Death Row, Snoop, Dre. You know what I'm saying? Like to me at that time, the West Coast was running shit. So when I see these shiny, colorful niggas dancing all up in your video. I felt like Suge when I used to watch Puffy. Like, yo, you don't want your executive producer all up in your videos, dancing. Come to Death Row. Come to Plug Talk. And I still stand on that today. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's changed. I'm cool.
I remember watching that. That's the crazy part when that first came, when the Source had the award show. They only had that one award show, or did they have other ones?
Nah,
I don't
they
Now they
had,
have
remember.
multiple ones.
yeah, they had about a 7 year run for real.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
lot of those situations was the reason why that shit came to a halt, though. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah. It
yeah.
wasn't many more after that, was it?
Nah, they was acting up at them Soul Trains Awards and them what's your boy from Boston that had the award show that the one she talking about?
The Vibe
The,
Awards?
Nah, it
the
was
No.
source.
the Source.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, those shits was it was a lot of gangster shit going on in them motherfuckers.
That's true.
Yeah, like I
I
said,
heard about it.
they didn't come out here and do that to BET Awards. BET Awards always been out here. But the Soul Train ones back in the day, and then those Source Awards, shit, they was real gutter on that.
They was cutting up at the Soul Train Awards. I
hell
remember the
yeah,
Soul Train Awards. I
hell
don't
yeah,
remember
they
them
were.
cutting up though.
Yeah,
Yo,
they
that's why
were.
they stopped them shits. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It wasn't in
yeah.
LA, the Soul
Mm-mm.
Train. It was
I think
somewhere
the Soul
else.
Train. I might be wrong on this, but I think
Oh, okay.
I'm not
Okay.
sure.
That makes
I'm not
sense.
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Now, what was you gonna say? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was very it was it's almost like, okay, we know once you start really paying attention to how things work with marketing and just in the industry period, you kind of know the people we see that's not really how they are in real life. Some of them, I'll say some people are really authentically themselves, and then other ones are putting on a character, and it's just
Okay.
unfortunate, yeah, that on, like, when it came to him marketing himself by being on TV for something or talking about things, it just seemed like that was a character of his, because behind the scenes he talking about, I just was with the common folk or whatever he said. I need to put on some I need to dip myself in some hot water. I'm like, what the heck, this guy, and he was serious.
Yeah, but
I'm
that's
like, this
that's
man
that's
is,
that's 400 million, $500 million Diddy you talking about. You
it
know.
don't matter.
I mean, people change the way they look at shit once you get to that type of level of finance and power. So I didn't take that statement really out of context. I could understand what type of nigga he is at this point, you know, mentally. But this is what I want to ask you. What getting to see the things that shaped him into the nigga at that point, right before he's prior to going to jail. What do you think about the documentary when it comes to the things like the murders that
Mm-hmm.
he
Mm-hmm.
was able to not have any responsibility for, like the one that happened at the celebrity basketball game when like 7 people died, got trampled. The connections with Keefe D saying he's involved with Tupac's murder, the connections with Big's murder. Then what's his name? The wife, the one he actually married, Kim Porter,
Tim Porter.
her
Mm-hmm.
her suspicious death. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you
Mm-hmm.
think about that?
Money is the root of all evil. I mean, they say if you give somebody money, it just make them worse of what they really are. I mean, it seemed like he grew the way he grew up. He kind of, they said on there that even with his songs, the way that he started producing his music, he got that from a DJ. As far as, I think it was like I forget what it was, the style of having the slow songs or something with the whatever he did with Jodeci. I forget what it was, what they said, like the exact words. But
So you're
basically,
talking
like,
about that DJ that used to he used to put a lot of R&B songs over hip hop beats,
yes,
Was
and
that
that shit
Ron
they
was
G,
like,
right?
huh?
Was that Ron G?
I can't
no, it
remember
was
the
somebody
name.
based out of New York that was just he. I don't even think he was known like that, right? Maybe on the party scene, maybe.
Well, he's
I think
definitely known in New York because it was huge.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it was Ron G. That's who y'all are talking about. The ones when they have those R&B CD. Well, they call them blends. So they'll put R&B tracks on, like, and then a rapper will rap over those beats or whatever the case may
Yeah,
be.
yeah. In this case, it was vice versa. So he was putting R&B tracks over
Right.
hardcore hip
Okay.
hop beats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then
Cause
that was
him
the
him and
motivation. That was the
my fault.
motivation for his production with Jodeci when they were at Uptown.
Right.
right.
And he stole that formula from him.
From the
Yeah,
guy,
From
nothing
him
not
and
from
Puffy
Warren
did.
G though, from the DJ in New York.
Yeah, but
yeah,
nothing
Ron
Puffy
G. That's
did.
his name.
Oh, that's his name. You're
Yes.
saying? Oh, I'm thinking
Ron,
of Warren G out here. My bad.
no, not
See,
not Warren
see,
G, but
see.
Ron G. So RONG. And then Miss
Oh,
Jones. Miss
oh,
Jones, the one that she used to sing a lot of hooks, and she sung the AZ Sugar Hill hook. They made those CDs together.
oh. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And he took that formula and he tried to, well, he incorporated that with Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. So he's always been stealing in a
Yeah.
sense.
Have
I
you ever
mean, it's
heard the
okay to be
dude down
inspired
in
by something, but go ahead, Putt. Sorry.
nah, it was a dude down in Mississippi. Called himself Big or Notorious, but he had this flow style that Big had, and people been questioning it. And even the Juicy song, he had did a similar cover to that, and this shit came out in like '92 or '93. And then bam, bam, 94, 95, we hear Juicy by Biggie, which was almost identical to this dude from Mississippi, I believe's track. I'll send that to y'all or something. But
Oh, that's crazy.
everything that Puff did, like Puffy was the first nigga. Well, I ain't gonna say the first, because Dre did it too. But Dre always, when he sampled beats, he would always make sure you could barely know where that sample was from.
Right.
Puppy did it and would sample these songs and damn near steal the hooks from these songs, or just change up a little bit of the hook. You know what I'm saying, with the same tempo. So like his whole formula for Bad Boy was almost like like a he stole it basically. I believe Pac when he say that, yo, Biggie stole my style from Ready to Die when he came out with Ready to Die. He said he stole the style from his Me Against the World album.
Right. And like I was paying attention to it, and I know Plug he be giving me a hard time on it, but Diddy he studied Pac, and he was like what successful things he was doing, and like a lot of his, like the I Get Around video. In the video
Mm-hmm.
he was in the bathtub. Diddy started incorporating that into his videos. And I and,
And
and I
what
started looking at those videos differently. I'm like, yeah, he did.
what was Big first video? The mansion in the pool, a bunch of
Right.
bitches out there. You know what I'm saying? It was all a dream. I used to be he's like, come on, it was identical to I Get Around, bro.
Mm.
Yo,
Absolutely
I
identical.
didn't know that until I saw that documentary. I was like, dang, that's crazy.
I'm like, on a side note, Plug, he be giving me a hard time. He be like, yo, you don't give him the credit. And I'm like, and then when I seen that recently, I'm like, nah, I don't want to tell him that because he ain't gonna never stop.
I'll tell him. He told you so. He told you so.
Yeah. But but yeah, man.
I
That
was a
that that
little bit older than y'all during this era. Like in '96 when Pac died, I was 16. I was a junior in
Mhm.
high school. When Big
Okay.
died 7 months later in '97, March '97, I was 17. I turned 17 in February. So like when these niggas died, I was crossing over the grown manhood. So I
Hmm.
remember this a lot more vividly because starting to do the shit they was rapping about at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I remember it vividly. So when this shit was really happening, when Pac got out and did that Vibe interview when he got out of jail, and he was talking about how they were still in their style, we was already looking at it like, yeah, they definitely did, definitely
Mm.
did. And I'll be hard on Demarati because East Coast niggas only like to give credit and props to East Coast niggas. And I'd be like, yo, and like nowhere else is like that. You go to the Midwest, you go to the South, you go to the West Coast, like they give it up for whatever's hot. They don't care. You do, they do care when it comes to certain niggas from certain neighborhoods here. But if it's good music, it's good fucking music. On the East Coast, the only good music is East Coast music, bro. I be we be we like to when we have conversations we quote rappers sometimes, right? Maybe in between the conversation. He doesn't know
Hmm.
any West Coast bars. If I say a West Coast artist, he won't recognize. If I say Jay Z or Nas, yeah, son, he gets a kick out of it. I'm like, yo, nigga. If I say some E40, he ain't gonna understand it.
You got to be special to understand that E40.
Hey, don't you ever
Legendary.
yeah, don't ever disrespect 40 water like that on here, man. I'm a
Me too. I love E40. My mom used to listen to E40 and Too Short and all of them back in the day.
he, E40 said keep the battery acid by the door so you can dump your dope as the police coming, man.
Okay, I don't know all the lyrics, but yeah, he's always a bop
Hey, yo.
Shout out to Fonzarelli for sure.
for sure. But
But
yeah,
yeah, these
so I was just gonna say too, when I was like watching it, it just made me realize like he was real. It's kind of scary because he was like real methodical, like with his the way that he maneuvered, master manipulated different situations. Because from the outside looking in, you would never know that he was plotting and planning certain things until you watch something like this and they put it all together. Like the document, it was kind of more so like an investigative type of documentary. It gave me that 24, what was that show I used to watch all the time that everybody was on, that crime show, that first
first
48.
48. Wow.
Yeah,
You look
it
like
gave
you
me
will
that
watch
type
first
of vibe
48.
because it had the little writing on the screen like they normally do in those investigative type of journalistic, documentaries. I mean, I don't know. I think it was well done. It's just unfortunate like that,
Shout out to 50 Cent.
he couldn't live his life being his true self. He always had to put on some type of facade.
I think he
Nobody,
did. I think he was his true self.
yeah,
It's
that's
just that he
exactly
had
who
the
he
money.
is.
I think he had the money. So money just enhances who you really are at
I
the
keep
end of
stealing
the
my
day.
bars, bro. I'm gonna charge you copyright and fees, man.
It just enhances who you are. So he was a billionaire, so he felt like he was untouchable. Yo, he
Yeah,
could
Yeah,
he,
take he
yeah.
could take people's girls. He
That
could,
mess is crazy.
yeah. He took Albie Shore's girl.
he
He
didn't
took
take Al
Ryan
B.
Leslie's
Sure's girl.
girl.
He did
Huh?
not take. He did
Yeah,
not
he
take.
did.
You see what Al B. Sure said?
That's true. He let
Yeah, they
it.
weren't. They weren't together at the time that Puffy started hollering at. When Puffy wanted her, when Al B. Sure was with her, Puffy didn't have a bag yet. She wasn't thinking about Puff. Like Kirk Burrows was saying it, like, yo, Puffy would be down there in her face every day. She was brushing this nigga the fuck off. So when Puffy got the bag from Bad Boy, he came across Kim, but at that time, her and Albie Shore weren't together no more. And when Kim told Albie Shore about it, Albie Shore said to Kim, he said, hey, nigga, you better go marry that nigga and have a bunch of kids with him. That nigga gonna be rich as fuck. That's what Albie Shore told her, bro. I wouldn't say that's taking it. He was obviously done with it for sure.
But what is it that you think made Albie Shore say that? Like, what did he see in his
She's
characteristics
a
that
gold
made him?
digger.
Huh? No, I
She,
said, what
I
did
think
he see in Diddy's characteristic to make him think
when
that he
Diddy
was
left,
gonna be big?
because when Diddy left, got fired from Uptown, when Andre Harrell fired Puff, Puff
Mm-hmm.
went to the boss, the nigga who had signed Uptown, which was Clive Davis. Clive
Mm-hmm.
Davis gave him the money to basically the starter kit to start Bad Boy with.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, Puff got the bag. And then from Kim Porter being the receptionist or the assistant at Uptown, she would be under the understanding of what he just did for Mary J. Blige, what he did for Jodeci, and what he did for Heavy D. So they know this nigga has a knack for talent. I don't think they were assuming he was going to be as big as he was or how he ended up being, but it was easy to see that this nigga was going to get to the bag, especially with Craig Matt's flavor in your ear and then finding Biggie. Yeah, you knew he was going to get to some money. Clive believed in him, and Andre Harrell, he was his right hand man. So obviously Andre believed in him. So
Yeah, that's true.
you know, yeah, he was destined to be where he was going to be. He was just a sucker, if you ask me. He was a sucker for pussy. He was the average simp nigga, lame dude from school that gets to a bag, that gets blessed in being in the right rooms at the right time and took advantage of the right opportunities in the right moments. But he
Right.
was a lame.
Mm.
And if you give lames money and power, you get this type of bullshit.
Like, yeah, he
Mm.
wasn't he wasn't in the hood. Like he just he went to we go to a Catholic school, and
Yeah,
then
he
he
went to
went to
some
Yes.
kind.
Howard University. And like you could tell how awkward he looked. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? When he was around. And like Plug said, he was one of those square individuals that he gets money and then you just see who he really is and who he really wants to be. A lot of people they're like that and then just say they become a police officer. Those are the biggest jerks. You
Yeah,
know what
Mm.
those
I
are the
mean?
worst ones to come across. You know what I'm saying? Worst ones.
Yeah,
Because now they're trying to earn a respect from a time period in their life where they didn't get it. And now they're overdoing it. They want to make you bow down almost. You know what I'm saying? And when you listen to the stories of everybody that Puffy dealt with, they all had this similar type of story, like control. And he wanted to
Mm.
control you. He wanted to, you know what I mean, break you. Like, you know what I mean? And that's a sucker to me. You got to think about his track record. Think of everybody who came through Bad Boy. I sent D Marachi the video. I think I slipped on sending it to you, love. But it was a video from about 10 years ago, maybe like 2017, 2016, 2018, somewhere around there, where Mace, I think Puffy went on Breakfast Club, and they brought up Mace and how he fell out with Mace, and they was kind of going over Puffy's track record. And Diddy was saying, "Yo, I ain't never did Mace wrong. Mace still owe me $3 million."
Oh yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I remember that.
Mace responded like, "Nigga, the nerve of this nigga talking about receipts. Nigga, he said your mama got the receipts, everything in your mama's name." Well, when he
Mm-hmm.
started Bad Boy, 75% of the ownership of Bad Boy was in his mother's name because of the situation with the celebrity basketball game. He didn't want to
right.
get sued and and lose his whole empire in his company at that time. The other
Mm-hmm.
25% was in Kirk Burroughs' name,
Mm-hmm.
who helped him
That I
start
did
Bad
not
Boy.
know ever in life. I thought that Diddy was the only one that
You've
started.
never heard of Kirk Burroughs? Kirk Burroughs had a
No.
name for himself during that Bad Boy
I
time period.
never knew it
You
was
would
a
probably
co anything.
you would probably want to come across Kirk Burroughs before Puff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like in the music industry or just trying to get a motherfucker to listen to your music, if you was into that type of shit at that time, you would definitely want to come across Kirk Burroughs before Puff for sure.
That's
Now
crazy.
Kirk was that nigga at that time. He was second to Diddy as far as Bad Boy go. That's why it's so crazy. Like that's why I was actually like, what do you think about the murders, right? Because Kirk
Mm-hmm.
Burroughs made a statement on there saying that he was the guy that took care of all the finances with Bad Boy. So the weekend Pac gets killed, He rented 12 vehicles and drivers to drive the vehicles out to Vegas. He had to pay for that out of bad. So if it's anybody that could really take Diddy down, it's Kirk because he controlled all the finances of Bad Boy. So if this nigga could pull up any of those records, this nigga will never see the light of day again.
That's, I mean, for him to even be on there, I said, woo, I know uh 50 had to give him a big check to be on there giving all that information out. I never
Nah,
even knew
so
about
They
Kirk
no
said
Bro,
nobody got
co-owner.
paid.
yeah, Kirk Burrows was already talking about this shit on the Art of Dialogue and a lot of these podcasts already. People are just
Yeah,
not familiar with these podcasts. They're not a huge platform like Netflix. But none of that information, I was telling DiMarachi this, like none of that information from that documentary was new.
Mm.
I had
right,
heard all of that shit before.
It's
right.
just the way it was presented with the like clips and stuff as evidence and all of that
50,
behind.
50 don't fuck around in this production. Name one thing that you've seen 50 do that was trash.
True.
Nothing. The Get Rich or
That's
Die
true.
Trying movie was epic. BMF was epic. Power was epic. Like
Mm-hmm.
when this nigga puts something together, he puts
Yeah.
it together. You know what I'm saying? 50's a
Yeah.
monster. Shout out to 50, man. God damn it. Shout out to 50. What
Yeah.
do okay, let me ask this. Does anybody think 50's a sucker for doing this shit?
Yeah, I think
Ooh,
he's I I I
talk
I
to
think
me.
huh?
Talk to me.
I think he's a little bit of a sucker because if it wasn't his baby mother involved with it, he would have never did it. You know what I mean? But they
Mm,
always been playing games like that, him and Diddy. Because you gotta understand he used to ghostwrite for Diddy. So at one time he was a work for hire for Diddy at Bad Boy. And Diddy was gonna sign him, but 50 had this stigma of like always being like getting into things and causing problems. So he didn't sign him. And then he
Mm.
ended up
yeah.
signing to the Shady Aftermath. And that he had to go all the way in the West Coast. East Coast labels weren't dealing with him. So that's why he had to go over there. But he wasn't no good over here because he was always getting into stuff. And he always tried to one up Diddy. But Diddy always had that power and he was a mogul. It only took 50 until now for him to be a mogul, for him to show that he can do it. So yeah, I think 50's a little bit sucker. He kicking a man when he's down. It's sucker. It's sucker plug. I know you giving that look, but it's sucker, man. I can't knock it, but it's sucker though. We gonna call a spade a spade. Come
I don't
on,
see
man.
no, I don't see that as a spade. But love, do you agree with this shit before I go?
I mean, if would he have done that if the baby mom situation didn't occur? Like if he, I don't think he would have had the ammo to even do any of that. So I don't know. I mean, from what I know as a man is supposed to be and all of that, I think I guess he. I mean, it's a part of who he is. So it's to me, it's who he is. I don't. It's information like y'all saying that people
It's
already knew.
sucker.
It's
It's
information
sucker,
that people
man.
already knew, but at the same time, would he have done that? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a
Oh,
man, but at the same time, I know most men, when y'all have little stuff going on or whatever, most women and people don't know about it because y'all don't really put it out there like that. Y'all try to handle stuff, on the low. But 50 always been the person putting stuff out. He don't have no chill. Once he on, he lit.
once
Once it's a
again,
spark, it's a fire with him.
yeah, I'm highly disappointed in y'all. But I'm gonna address this two different ways. For one, I don't think it has anything to do with the chick. I think it has everything to do with his son that he has by the chick, and the fact that that relationship isn't great. And I think there may be some behind the scenes shit that we don't know about that Puffy might have been involved with that has manipulated that situation. I think that I just can't see 50 Cent because he doesn't have a track record of being a sucker for these bitches. That nigga dog walk Vivica. That nigga's dog walk models and bad bitches. This nigga, it seems to me like he don't love, like he's not the type of, he like Snoop. I don't love these hoes. Like he's one of them type of niggas. I don't see this nigga being a sucker. I absolutely don't see it as him kicking Puffy while he's down because I'm gonna tell y'all this. Niggas niggas have got killed behind fucking somebody's bitch. Now, to me, that's sucker shit. I'm not jeopardizing my life because this chick want to be hot in the ass. Listen, the day somebody fuck my bitch, she's your bitch. She's not mine anymore. I don't want her. She can't come back home. Her clothes would be over there to the left, to the left. All right, she's not. We are no longer kicking it. So I just don't. I don't think that sucker shit. Well, I look at life like this, especially when you're talking about men that have power, resources, and they have platforms. It's chess, not checkers. He's not kicking anybody down. He just checkmated his ass. Now that you down, I'm not letting you up. That to me, that's some gangster shit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't see nothing sucker about it. I don't
I
see
mean,
nothing
I
sucker
I
about
think
it.
it's positions, like you saying too. Positions, I guess.
What you mean?
Because isn't Diddy in a position where 50 financially was not? I mean, now he probably not after spending all that money.
Yeah,
But 50 wasn't on the financial level that's Diddy. And it
No.
is a, you don't think positions have anything to do with it? No?
I think
Yeah,
it
no, for sure.
absolutely does.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, it does for
and,
sure.
yeah, in this situation, it absolutely does. Diddy has been a mogul for over 20 years. 50's just reaching mogul status within maybe the last 5 to 10 years.
Right.
So, so it
Puffy's more like
absolutely
30
does.
years of being a mogul, to be
Yeah,
honest with you. Closer to
Diddy has
30.
been Diddy is like a mogul, so that's like different status, like Baby, what is Suge Knight, Dre,
Jay-Z,
Master
Jay
P?
Z, all
P at
those
one
are
point. At
moguls.
one point.
You know what I mean? 50 is now just becoming a mogul,
Yeah.
or within the last 5 years or so, he's now just become. Diddy has always been a mogul. So yeah,
Yeah, but I look at it like Carlito's Way. You shitted on Benny Blanco when Benny Blanco was trying to work with you. Benny Blanco not gonna forget that shit. You
Mm.
Carlito, you been the man. When I get the chance, nigga, I'm either coming to kill you, or if somebody else gets to you and I see you down, I'm stomping you out. You already gave the bad taste in somebody's mouth. That's karma, if you ask me. 50 Cent, I mean, P. Diddy's getting his karma. It just happened to be coming from the hands of 50. He's getting his karma though. If you're
yeah,
really behind the murder of Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, and Kim Porter, nigga, fuck you. You deserve everything coming to your ass. Nah, straight up, bro. We
okay,
lost two of
okay,
hip hop's greats, bro. We don't know where we would be in the culture if a nigga like Tupac was still alive. We can
Mm.
honestly look at Tupac and say that was our last example of half of a revolutionary.
yeah,
You got your hands involved in these two niggas' deaths and a badass Kim Porter. That was a fine ass chick. If you ain't want her, P. Diddy, you could have gave her to me or something. You ain't have to kill her. If he's involved in that, man, fuck him, bro. I'm just being 100, bro. Man, fuck him, bro. I don't give a fuck. They get a nigga electric chair, somebody beat him to death in prison, whatever. Like that's bro. You're behind too many deaths. You got too much blood in your hand for anybody that I think to
yeah,
have sympathy for this nigga.
yeah. There's a lot of artists that that have passed away on his watch as well too, and they're not in a financial situation or place where they need to be.
Mm.
A
Yeah,
lot
man.
of
Rest in peace.
those bad boy artists are not where they need to be
Yeah. Rest in
because of
peace,
bad
Craig
money.
Mack. Rest in peace, Black Rob. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You got a lot
Nobody
of
left.
artists.
Nobody left Bad Boy. None of the survivors have anything good to say about Puff. From the Locks, Little Kim, Mace. Like who is somebody who was a part of his come up that has anything good to say about him? Like that's a pattern. That means you fucked over everybody to get to that mogul
Right.
status. That means
Mm.
you stole from everybody, you robbed everybody, you took their royalties, you purposely set them up with bad contracts. Like there was nothing real about you at all. I can say this, and me and DiMarachi always had this conversation. I can say this. Other than Snoop and Dre, you don't hear a lot of people talk bad about Suge. Cause rappers always say, "Hey, I wouldn't be in the position I am today without Suge Knight." You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
That I think them niggas was paid. I just think that some of them niggas weren't aware of their expenses and thought they should have got some more money. However, you don't. Everybody doesn't have a bad taste in their mouth about Suge. Everybody doesn't have a bad taste in their mouth about Jay Prince. Everybody didn't have a bad taste in their mouth about Irv Gotti. And for real, everybody didn't have a bad taste in their mouth about Dame. But Puffy, every person that has crossed his path,
Mm.
you can't name a person other than his kids that don't have a problem with this nigga.
Right.
They
No,
just couldn't do nothing
nobody,
about it. Yeah, they couldn't do
nobody
nothing.
wants to be associated with him. Nobody. So everybody, when he was out, everything was all good because they all wanted something. So when you were saying earlier, love, does it have to do with position? Yes, it does. Everybody was playing their position because they knew Diddy held a prominent position in the game. So everybody
Mm.
would go to the Diddy parties. They would pretend they were his friend, all this stuff. But then when times was hard, now he sees who's really his friends because he's done everybody dirty.
Mm.
Everybody
That's
though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a life
everybody.
to
Everybody.
live. You
Now
ain't
we
got
could
no
take
real friends or nothing.
right
I mean, if he
now,
wanted to have friends, he could have had them. The problem was Puffy wasn't trying to make friends. Puffy was trying to finesse you, see what talent you had, how he could extort you and make more money off of you than you'll ever make off of yourself in your lifetime.
yeah.
Mm.
And he gave back the publishing, but the publishing ain't worth nothing now.
Nothing
Almost
now.
30
Yeah.
years later.
Right.
Dang.
Like you gotta capitalize on it right when your music is relevant. That's where you're gonna make the most money because that's when your music is gonna be used in other things, like it may be in like shows or whatever, because the
Mm-hmm.
songs is hot.
Com-
But 30
Commercials.
years later, nah. My
Yeah.
fault.
No, I was just saying anything could be commercials. Yeah, they use rap songs on ESPN now before commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
all those royalty checks, and Bad Boy had a that the playlist from Bad Boy is no joke. It's probably one of the
Mm.
best, top five of a record label of all time. Like they had hits, they had a lot of hits, a lot,
Yeah, they did.
and nobody got paid. Like you look at all these motherfuckers from Bad Boy, no matter what era, with exception of like I said, with exception of the Locks and Little Kim, who had to leave Bad Boy to get they bag, and they left at the right time where they still had some relevancy. Other than that, everybody else who was a part of Bad Boy, I don't give a fuck if you talk a Day 26, Danity Kane, uh, uh, any of them groups he did after that,
No
Black
dirty
Rob and
money and
them,
all of that.
yeah, Mark Curry, like none of these niggas got
Yeah.
bags, man.
And that
All of
shit,
them are fucked up.
yeah, and that chick from Dirty Money, what's her name? Like Kalani or something like that,
Uh-huh.
asked him to borrow money. She was helping him write songs. And then he said nah, but then when he's in a situation,
He
wants
wants
her
her to
to
make a
say,
statement.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And all she asking for was $5 grand. Bro, what is $5 grand to a nigga with $500 million, bro? You're
right.
talking $5.
Did he really take the 25% from the co-owner? What was the guy name
Yeah,
again?
Kirk Burrows.
Yeah.
Kirk wouldn't say that if he didn't. Kirk
Yeah,
Burrows got cheated out of money because of that.
Mm.
he strong armed them and was like, sign it over to
Yeah.
my mother. So
Well,
they
Kirk
could,
Burrows was a bitch. He was fucking Kirk anyway. You know what I'm saying? So he had enough dirt on Kirk and enough power to say you would never work in the industry again. And when he fired him for Bad Boy, you haven't seen Kirk work in the industry again. So these niggas understood that he had got to the level to where he could blackball you, which is the same thing that happened to Dame, Same thing that happened to Irvin, though, after a while. Like, you get the wrong enemies,
Yeah.
and their come up is bigger than yours, and they surpass you, and you're coming down as they're going up. Like, yo, they're going to remember that. They're going to remember that. Yeah,
Mm.
Kirk ain't gonna lie about having to sign over his 25. He was there from day one. He was there at Uptown Records. He left Uptown Records with Puff to start Bad Boy. He was the first person that was a part of Bad Boy with Puff.
Right, right, right. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Every
that's
all of the pictures that they show of him in jail, he always smiling. He always cheesing hard.
nah, those are fake. Those are
They are?
AI. Yeah, those
Oh,
fake as
okay.
fuck. Yeah, those
Okay.
fake as fuck. You're not getting that type of like. They're not allowing press on a prison yard. I don't give a fuck what press you are.
I'm like he's in the general public.
No,
Population.
fuck no. He don't even
Or
like general
yeah.
population on the streets. Why would you be general population in the filthiest place you can live in the world, a prison? No.
Yeah,
That
Oh,
nigga,
okay.
that
Diddy.
nigga,
There's no way he's in general population. That prisoner go crazy. Like if
Okay.
he, even
Diddy
if he
would,
just stepped out in the yard, like just stepped out, yo, the whole prison will go crazy.
yeah.
The inmates will
Any
go crazy.
gangster, yeah, any gangster is gonna be like, hey, nigga, you need protection. I need 100,000 on my books tomorrow.
Yeah,
You're
don't.
not gonna make it back to your cell this evening, nigga, if we don't got that money on the way.
Yeah,
Mm,
like
And
that's
shit.
crazy.
even if you just say you're outsider with regular clothes and you walk in, yeah, like yo, they'll go crazy. So imagine somebody like Diddy.
Mm.
You know what I
Nah,
mean? Like
nah, you
that.
better believe in federal prison. There's bigger niggas than Diddy. You got
I
to
was
remember,
gonna say he's
Martha
in federal,
Stewart.
not county, right?
Yeah, Martha Stewart went to federal prison, bro. That's a billionaire white bitch.
But she's not
So,
gonna be in
But
general
she was in that
population
low
though.
level too. Sorry.
well, so is he. He's not. There's no
Right.
there's no guns involved. There's no gangsters. There's no. They haven't charged him with any murder, so he's not in high security. He's at Camp Candy.
Yeah, D.
Yeah, he can probably have pussy coming at him. He probably still do
Yeah,
all the shit he was doing before without getting
yeah,
charged with sex trafficking.
right.
Yeah.
Lord
Then he
help
probably in there
us.
rolling weed and playing PlayStation 5.
In
Yeah,
the low level federal, you could play you could get games and all of that.
If you Diddy, you can get games and all of that. If you a
Oh,
mafia
okay.
member, you're gonna get games and all that. You a million
Oh.
dollar multi-millionaire, you're gonna have privileges and leverage that the average inmate is not.
He's only in there for 3 years or something like that, right?
Less than that because they gave him time served for waiting for trial. So he's
Mm-hmm.
about 50 months, which is about,
he'll be out
it's
in
about three.
2028.
Yeah, but he won't be out. He won't be
He
out.
could do a program too, right? Because like a drug
He
program or something.
Man, they're about to hit Diddy with a bunch of
That take a
charges.
year off.
They're about to hit Diddy with a bunch of serious charges within the next 14 months. It's on the record. I just said it. It's 4334. I promise you, by this time next year, Diddy's gonna be charged with some of those murders.
Mm.
Diddy's gonna be charged with
Dang.
that shit. There's gonna be criminal charges for the assaults on the ladies. There's gonna be assault charges filed, criminal charges filed by other people that can't get any money from Diddy. That feel like they were assaulted by him. And Keefe D has already stated that they killed Tupac because of the $1 million bounty on from Puff. It's going to be hard to prove without Kirk Burroughs. I think Kirk Burroughs is the only nigga living left that can verify the financial transaction.
Mm-hmm. I
However, I
mean, he
think,
just put it on the thing, so
yeah, but what I'm saying is all that's going to do is make the feds spark their eye, like, and all they're going to think is, oh, we can milk him for the rest of this 400 million he got left. You know what I'm saying? He's never coming home. He's never coming home.
that's
They,
crazy.
we've seen them put people in jail for longer that they had weaker cases. R. Kelly, they had a way weaker case on R. Kelly than what they got on Puff.
Mm.
R. Kelly's still in prison.
I know
They
that's
had a super weak case on Bill Cosby. You're talking about shit that was past the statute of limitation. They had to let Bill out. He was never supposed to be locked up in the first place. All of that shit. The only thing that doesn't have a statute of limitation on it is murder. Everything else after 7 years, you can't charge nobody for that.
mm,
They had to let Bill go. They all had weaker cases than Puff do. It's just that the things that they put Puff in jail for were minute. I think they put Puff in jail for this shit to weaken his power, weaken his financial backing and support, and now they're going to hit him with the real shit.
mm.
I think
Man, the
he'll beat. I think
schemes, the
he'll beat.
schemes.
Yeah, I think he'll beat the murder for Tupac. I think they're gonna put Keefe in jail for the rest of his life for that. But I think he gets convicted for Big, and he gets convicted for Kim Porter.
Mm. Yo, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good though. There's a lot of deaths that's around him.
He has no criminal record, man. You're not gonna hold this nigga in there for the shit they're holding him in there for. Sexually trafficking men. He's not even in there for sexually trafficking females. He's
Man,
sexually trafficking men.
this is crazy.
Yeah, that's what he's
I
in
did
jail
not know
for.
that.
Yeah, he's not in jail for Cassie. He's not in there for Jane Doe, which was the other woman. He beat those charges. Those were the charges he could have got life sentences for. He beat those charges.
Yeah.
Mm.
They charged him with sexual trafficking male prostitutes.
Mm.
I missed that.
Shit, I wish
That
I
is
would have.
crazy. My goodness. Woo. The schemes, the schemes.
I'm just saying, if he had anything to do with those murders, fucking, you kill innocent niggas, and then you had the gall to use Biggie's money to pay for his own funeral.
His
Like, nigga,
insurance money.
you're a despicable nigga. You're
Those
disgusting.
those I mean, as an artist, that's what those record labels do.
But they're all disgusting. How many artists? How long? How many years have we heard them talk about the theft that's going on, the robbery that's going on from these record labels?
Yeah.
That doesn't. They're not off the hook neither. It's just that Puffy's under the spotlight right now. So we're talking
Yeah.
about Puff, but Clive Davis, nasty nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or we're going to refrain from the word I want to call him because we've been banned before for these type of terminologies.
But yeah, a
But these
lot of
Uh-oh.
yeah
motherfuckers,
in the
these
industry, they're definitely it's a pattern behavior, and Diddy's just learning what he was taught at the end of the day. Like, there's no way around that. He's definitely learned that from some of the high executives. Even in the industry today, they got 360 deals. How you gonna make money off of my show and my merch?
Hmm.
Like,
where do I get anything from that? You know what I'm saying?
But you get that advance, you get that big check.
It's not a big check. It's a big check to get you out the ghetto. You move to middle class and realize that the motherfuckers who signed you are living somewhere on Turks and Caicos. They own islands out there. Like, no, that's not a
yo,
big check.
yo,
Yep.
those advances gotta be paid back. They're like the
Yeah.
PPP loans.
Yep.
You gotta pay it. You
Yeah.
gotta pay it back, but you gotta
But
use.
actually, the PPP loans, actually, you could get forgiveness on those. You
Yeah.
can't get
No,
Yeah.
for.
no. You could get forgiveness if you use it in a business. You gotta report how you where the money is being allocated.
Okay,
Right.
and it's the same thing when you get in advance, right? So if these artists were smart enough to say, okay, you just gave me a $500,000 advance, I'll take care of my travel. I'll take care of my buses and vans when I get off and I need to go to studios, radio stations, when I need to go to shows. I got all my shit covered, all my promo. I pay for that as well. Then you don't owe the record label that when
Right.
your album comes out, and now you can recuperate more money and you can renegotiate deals. But this is why they love to sign motherfuckers at 18, 19, 20 year old because you could put 350,000 in their fucking hand, and to a motherfucker who been living in his mama house his whole life to 19 years old, so a couple of ounces of weed, 350,000 seems like 350 million.
That's true.
Right. And
That's true.
you're gonna
Management
blow that
matters.
money. You're gonna blow it, and then you still have to owe the record label because now they gotta recoup that money. So they buy the jewelry, they buy the clothes, they buy all that stuff. Just like the PPP loans, they buy all this stuff, but they're not allocating it to a business. And then now the feds is coming for them, and they're asking where did you spend the money? They don't have the answer. They're arrested now.
Hey, bro, I was in Atlanta when the PPP loans dropped, bro. I'd never seen more 30-day tags and Hellcats in my life, man. I said, yo, what the fuck is going on? You know, where everybody getting this money from? I wish I'd have got one of them motherfuckers. I was scared to death. I'm like, shit, I ain't got no business to put this shit into at this moment. When it
Nah,
start plugged, yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm not touching that.
nah, man. They actually when you do the PPP loan, you got to fill out an application. They ask mad questions. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it, bro.
I know a couple people who got it. Shout out to my broski. He got 90 bands from that shit, but he got a business to put it into.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Sheesh, 90 bands.
yeah. They
But
was giving it out.
I know mass niggas who didn't have, the only company they had is when they invited somebody to their crib. Like, never had a real company, and they got 60, 70 grand from this shit.
Mm.
And broke today. I'm like, yo, I've
Oh
never been
no.
given
Sheesh.
$70,000 to do what I please with. And if I ever was given $70,000 to handle some business with, I never have to look back. That 70 would be 7 million today.
Mm. Put it in the Charles Schwab account.
Now, fuck Charles Schwab, them niggas scammers too. I'm putting it into the plug talk account and doing some plug talk shit. I must spawn
That's
7
long.
other businesses under this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be out
Hey.
here. Look, I have 2 food trucks out here. I have a barber shop in Atlanta where all the niggas at. Like, I had so much shit that you could do with 70 grand. Like, I had
Right.
about 4 or 5 motherfucking mobile homes. Be written no motherfuckers out. So I would have, you know what I'm saying, income every month that's coming just from shit I've already spent money on. There's
Right.
so many different ways that you could do something
It
with that type of
is.
money. But people don't, you get the money and then it's like, what do you do with it? You never expected to have it. So people don't know. And then what you got 70,000, you can't sit at home and do research anymore. You got 70,000, your ass gotta hit the mall. Well, I can at least go spend 2,000 on shoes and clothes. I ain't my closet is empty. Then next thing you know, it's like, well, damn, I could use a chain. I got all this flash shit on now. And then nigga want to get some Cardis like me and shit. Now you spend another 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? Like before you know it, you done spent 30,000 and your bills coming for next month. Now you got to pay them bills too. Now your chick talking about she could use a new car. Her Toyota Camry got dents in it. Now she want a new Kia, new.
But
Right.
one
And
thing we
she
didn't
and they gotta
mention,
pay that back. My
that's
fault.
true. No, it's okay.
And they
Um,
didn't they didn't create no revenue for themselves.
one thing we didn't mention with that Diddy stuff because it is, I mean, I don't know. Of course, there's like you guys said, learn behavior. Why do you think that they decided to go ahead and move forward with Diddy instead of like anybody else? Because there's other people probably doing similar things. Do you think it was that? What do you call it? Delavaggio, the Ciroc situation?
I think
Absolutely.
why they chose Diddy because he had a certain level of intellect to manipulate people. Like it and I'm gonna steal something that Plug said, but I gotta credit him. They have a
About time.
certain
Oh my goodness.
they have a certain certain what is it kind of like what they're going for. Like, okay, these people they're in a Catholic school, they come from this type of background, they do this, they do that, and they know that they can reach a certain audience. And they usually go younger. So anywhere from 18 to 25, because those age groups is impressionable,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll know that they'll make mistakes and they could manipulate their mind.
Mm.
So here's a question for you, love. Since you asked that question, great question by the way, great response, Nimarachi. So here's a question for you. Have you ever noticed that in the golden era of hip hop, we're talking like from 90 to 2000, right? The artists who blew up around that time all had a lot of similarities in common, especially the New York artists. All these niggas went to great schools, had parents, or either at least one parent, because somebody else might have died, the father might have died, got killed, left a bunch of money to him, or is in prison, and you know what I'm saying, left a bunch of money out there. But all these kids went to Catholic schools. I can name you a list of them from New York right now, from Puff, right? These are
Mm-hmm.
schoolboys. The Locks, all three of them went to Catholic school. They met at
They
Catholic school
did?
together. Yeah, yo, it
I
broke
did
my heart.
not know that.
Man, D Marachi, I called this nigga instantly that night. I found that out. I'm like, yo, nigga, my heart is broke. He said, man, what's up, plug? I said, nigga, the Locks went to Catholic school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
Yo,
did not know that.
Mob Deep,
So, was it no public schools in New York or what? Like, was that
Mason,
just the.
Mason Cameron went to public schools in Harlem. But you're not talking about kids that were project babies. These niggas came from a little bit of something too. Had great coaches around them, had great male influence around them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
both of them niggas went to college. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that doesn't make you not a hood nigga, but I'm saying like these niggas had windows or opportunities in other arenas. They just might have made. I don't think in the case of them two, that getting into the rap game was a bad choice because them niggas are only like 6'1". They weren't going to the NBA anyway. They're like me. Like you could be as skilled as you want to be, but you're 6 foot. They got somebody 6'7" that does the same exact thing I do. You know what I'm saying? Got the same skill set. So like it's hard to make that NBA, no matter how skilled you are. So going into rap was probably the next best thing for them niggas. You know,
Mm.
Yeah.
but these niggas were all the only niggas that I can remember from that era from New York, and I'm not talking. I'm just talking about big niggas, like niggas that actually blew up, had platinum albums and major hits. Was Nas.
And
Nas
you
had
would
no
think by the way
affiliation.
he rapped that he went
That he
somewhere
would be in
like
the
that.
Catholic school getting
Right.
right. Yeah, this nigga dropped out in what, like eighth grade, and this is a story from his father.
Right.
Like
Oh,
his father's
wow.
like, yo, I left his mother, left him in a basket. These niggas was really in Queensbridge. Y'all pulled up in Queensbridge looking for Nas, didn't I, D Marachi?
Yeah, he did. Um, but even if we take Nas, his father was in the music industry. He was a famous
True,
jazz
Mm.
player.
true enough. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So all these niggas have been descendants of this game, or come from people that are into Masonic industries that are part of some type of fraternities. Like it's these hand selected group of people that they
Mm-hmm.
use during the '90s. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but the first person to bring it to the public was Crazy Bone. He did like a podcast in the early 2000s. It's still floating around on YouTube. I'll send it to you if I find it, but he was
Mm-hmm.
talking about this industry meeting they had in 1990, to where they had a bunch of the owners of record labels and music execs. They had about 20 rappers who they were planning to be major rappers that they were going to put huge money behind and the machine behind to make them major rappers. And then they had a bunch of owners of private prisons. The plan was to make this music seductively to our culture so it could influence us into bad behavior so they can increase the prison total. So they wanted these niggas not to do happy I get around music, not to do KRS-One positive music, not to do anything like what Chuck D was doing. They didn't want this type of hip hop. This is why
Mm.
you seen the emergence of NWA so fast. This is why you seen the emergence of this gangster rap. That's why the West Coast had control in them '90s. Then New York picked up on it. The first
Right,
time you heard a
right.
street record from New York was Nas.
Mm, that is crazy.
And then I don't want to go too much into it, but you could put the pieces
I bet
together.
you don't, East Coast nigga.
Hold nah, I don't want to go too much into it, love, but look at it this way. You know, you got the Catholic situation with the little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it that way. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's the same thing being
Yeah. It
yeah.
moved into the I mean, it's in the industry. Yeah. That
But
is crazy. That's crazy. I did not know the Locks went to Catholic school. So basically, they are rebelled afterwards, according to their music. They are rebelled after Catholic school. After Catholic high school, they all became street people.
I don't think that's the case. I think that they were told in order to be in this industry, in order to make some money from this industry, this is what we need from you. We need this type of music. I think if hip hop was organic and it was actually based off talent and great songs, we wouldn't even be hip hop would not be what it is today. It'd be something totally different. It'd probably sound like the most coolest gospel music you can ever hear. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It would be
Mm-hmm.
some
Mm-hmm.
it would be some real like like real I don't want to say political, but let's just say conscious. It'd be very conscious and alert and awakening, right? But they were manipulated to make this. They didn't have a say so in what you had to make. If you want to be in this rap game, we're gonna need you well educated niggas to write about this shit. They weren't given a choice.
Mm, that is crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I think the only rapper during that time period that was actually a rebel was Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one the industry couldn't control. They couldn't tell this nigga, hey, nah, you don't write nothing but about shooting niggas and kids. Tupac was like, man, kiss my ass, nigga. I got nigga, I'm about to write about my mama.
Right, right,
Now I'm
right.
about to tell you keep your head up.
Mm, that is crazy.
And then look at what happened. Like when he went against the grain, he started getting into trouble
That's
with the
true.
woman. He got charged with one of the most ridiculous things. What was it, like groping a woman,
Yeah.
sodomy. So,
sodomy.
yeah, so
Yeah,
forcefully grabbing the buttocks. I don't know a nigga in America that's been locked up for that.
That's called sodomy?
Yeah,
I
what
did
he was
not
locked
know
up
that.
for. So it's one of the laws under sodomy. It's not called
Oh,
sodomy.
okay, okay,
So you have
okay,
sodomy, and then you have a bunch of case laws up under it that would qualify under that term.
okay.
That and that's what he was charged with. But however,
Mm,
do you know a nigga that ever went to prison for grabbing the ass?
no.
That's what he went to prison for, not for rape. He didn't go for rape. Everybody says rape, but it was not rape. He was never charged with rape.
and the
As
And
girl
and
as
lied.
and, and to clarify that, I told D. Marachi this before too. So Tupac beat a case down in Atlanta a year prior to that, where he shot two off-duty police officers and beat the case. That
oh,
was the
I
situation
heard.
where you see Tupac walking out the courtroom all swagged up and with that attitude, like, yeah, I shot them motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he beat the case.
Mm-hmm. The
So
off-duty cops.
yeah, so he has this, you gotta think across the whole judicial system. He's the nigga that beat the system. So if they ever catch him on anything, they're exploiting this. And then boom, here comes this situation that comes through the New York niggas. And we don't know if those niggas were involved in setting him up. A lot of them niggas has died and everything else. So I don't know if the full story will ever really come out, but you can pretty much look at that and be like, yeah, that was a setup all the way around the board. The nigga Haitian Jack brings the bitch to you, and it's the same bitch that accuses you of rape after that, knowing that Tupac had already fucked the bitch and passed out in the bed. What happened with her and the other niggas? How does that have anything to do with Tupac? How does he be the only nigga to go to jail out of that whole case?
Mm.
Right.
Then while you're in New York going to court, you're trying to make some money to pay for your lawyers. You end up getting shot at Quad Studios
Mm-hmm.
with a bunch of New York niggas there. What are the odds?
Mm. All
They
this
was lying
manipulation.
when they killed Malcolm X. It would have been to the conscience of black people. It would have been an outrage if it was a white person that did it. But if they use your own, we can make this look like it was a nation of Islam. We can make this look like it was a gangster in New York, a drug. We can make this look like whatever if we
Mm-hmm.
use people that look like you.
Hmm.
Man,
They've copied the same formula over and over again, man. I'm just saying, if Puffy had anything to do with that, the hell with him. Off with his head. That's what I say. Off with his fucking head. Get
I
that nigga
mean,
the
it looked
fuck out
like
of
that's
here.
something they already trying to put together. I heard it. It's like so many hundreds of cases that I'm like, how is it possible? Sheesh, so many cases that
I,
people
I'm
have
gonna
filed.
recommend. I'm gonna recommend to y'all to watch this. It's a series called The Godfather of Harlem.
I saw it already.
So you seen how when it came down to it, right? Um, the police addressed Bumpy Johnson and said, "Hey, if you just give us these guineas, if you give us these mob members, you can continue doing what you're doing. We don't want to cut. We will overlook everything you doing, and you would never got to go to court or nothing forward to get him to compromise with them so they can get what they want." So if
Mm-hmm.
you got to think about if our government, right, if our federal agents are playing that type of game with the streets, then they're partners with the shit that's going on in the streets.
Yeah,
Right.
this. Yeah,
They
yeah.
profit from it. They get what they want out of that. Not just cases. They get side money and all type millions from the biggest drug dealers in America. They did the same thing with the guy I interviewed. Shout out to my nigga Freeway Ricky Ross.
Mm-hmm.
They funded a war behind this nigga.
Right.
Y'all heard of the Contras. So
Mm-hmm.
so it's not so they use people to take out our people, but we're not the problem for real. There's a deeper problem that we all need to sit back and understand that's going on. But we can't fix that problem until we fix ourselves. Closing statements, y'all. That's just bad.
Well, this has been great. Linking back up, it's been
Damn it, love, not on your closing statement.
okay. I'm back, but no,
Okay,
it's been
cool.
great to be back. D Marachi and plug. Um, Man, I think we just ooh, it just make me want to read my Bible more and sharpen my discernment so
You
I
better
could be on
sharpen your
point.
sword and your guns better
Sharpen
be.
up because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, after I watched the whole thing, I'm thinking to myself like people really can be like that, like just so methodical, like I don't know, it was just crazy to me, but all that master manipulation stuff,
Hey, let
yeah.
me ask you a question. Do you think there's
Uh-huh.
more people out here? They may not have the financial money or the power that Diddy has, but do you think it's more men out here that are methodical and manipulative like Diddy, or what would be the percentage of men that you think are like that? I don't care about race. We could talk about all races, men as a gender. How many men do you think are really like that?
I don't know after watching that, and that's the scary part. I really don't know. It almost make you want to think twice when make you it makes somebody like me like super cautious about
Gi- give me
any and
give me
everybody.
give me
Any
an
and everybody.
give me an estimated number, love.
Okay, I would probably say as easy as he made it look, like 75%.
All right.
Especially if yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I think, 75.
You close. You bet. I'll give you this. If your number had to be a grade on like a test in school, I would give you an A. You're not
Okay.
100% because you weren't exactly accurate, but I'll give you an A for that.
Okay.
You're in the range.
Is statistics on that, or what's your logic behind it?
Nah, my logic behind it is being a man myself,
Oh,
operating
okay.
in a man's world and knowing how men operate amongst each other. That so
Okay.
okay, so our friendship, me and Demarati's friendship, this isn't based off of likes and dislikes. This shit is based off of common, what we have in common. If we have the same goals in mind, if we have the same principles in mind, right? That's how men operate. Uh, you got to be a loose cannon to be around men without principle. Like we were talking last night, and I was explaining to, and I don't want to fuck up your closing statements, but I just want to say this real quick. So I was telling him the worst friend you can possibly have is a friend that doesn't see any wrong in you, that is going to ride with you no matter what. That is fake loyalty. And I told him I don't ever want a friend that's gonna be like, I don't care what you did, nigga. You my nigga, and I'm rolling with you. Stay the fuck away from me. I need a friend that's gonna be like, nigga, you about to go shoot up the what? No, nigga, that's dumb. Why would we do that? We got too much to lose. You got a girlfriend, a kid. Like, no, I need real people around me that understand
Mm-hmm.
because I might not make the best decisions all the time. So why would I want a friend that makes worse decisions than me or just is a yes man to me and just gonna tell me whatever you want to do, boss? Who the fuck wants
Right.
that? That's the most dangerous person to have in your life. I'm just saying that, to kind of blend in with that point of what you were just saying. But like, yeah, men are manipulators, man. Like we battle with because you don't want to battle with anything else because when it comes to men, you're talking about physical force, and that's going to lead to some crazy shit. So we
Right.
battle with manipulation, being able to play chess mentally and make sure that you're outsmarting the motherfucker you're dealing with, even if it's your best friend. Now, if you guys got the same common goal in mind, then you're working towards the same principle. So outsmarting somebody and just coming up with a great idea that can bring some more money to the pot. It's never a bad thing when you guys have the same goal in mind. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with even when you're dealing with women, you want them to be on board with the mental part so you can build an empire. You can't build an empire with a woman just because she got good pussy and she look good. She has to be mentally there and mentally supportive of you to be able to follow that lead so she can be that queen on the chessboard. You get what I'm saying? But go ahead with your
Mm-hmm.
closing statements. I don't mean to get on my rambles, man.
No,
Y'all got
that's
me
all
on.
I was gonna say. It's just it really makes me want to. I'm serious when I say that, just to sharpen my discernment. Because as I mean, I want to be someone eventually that's making some money, and if I'm gonna be around these other people, men and stuff, making money on another type of level, I'm gonna have to be smart with my movements and everything, and it's gonna be deeper
Nah,
than just me and what I know. It's gonna be more like
you don't
a
got a shot,
discernment
love.
and spiritual level type situation. That's what I
Yeah,
feel. So.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You ain't got a shot in hell. Your best bet is finding a nigga that can do it for. I don't care if you got to find you a dope fiend off the street, dress this nigga up, and teach him the game. You got a better shot doing that if you
Teach
know
them
the
what
game.
game though? Oh,
Business. Yeah,
okay.
whatever you're trying to do. Like sometimes I forget the movie with the black banker who was not getting some of the deals with some of the banks out of town he was trying to open up because he
I
was
saw
black.
that.
So he had to
I
use the
saw
white
that.
man as a front man. Like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when it
Hmm.
comes to women, you're gonna have to find a man just to be a front man. You know what I'm saying? Some of Chicago's biggest pimps back in the day were bitches. Detroit too, but they had muscle. They had men as the front men. You
Mm.
never knew that. You never knew who the pimp was. They weren't.
Mm.
They were never there cuffing the bitches because they were females that didn't care about them bitches.
Mm.
But they had shooters because they
That's
could pay for
crazy.
them shooters. Yeah. So if you're a woman and you want to take over and be a boss in this corporate world,
I'm
you
not
either
trying to
gonna
take
sell.
over nobody's stuff. I just want to operate in my own lane, and I want to do it in
You got a
excellence.
big ass lane, love. You got a big ass head and you're a big thinker. You're not going to be in a regular $200,000 lane. You're going to be in a $200 million lane And that's going to be hard to operate without somebody who can at
Without,
least be,
I understand what you're saying. I
yeah,
get.
you know what I
I
mean?
mean, that's a part of the strategy, though, that I'm talking about. I'm saying,
Or you could just find you a decent nigga and he can do all the things that you know what I mean? He's already in them lanes. But that's another
I don't
discussion.
know.
We gonna talk
Yeah,
about
that's
your
a whole nother discussion. But yes, all of that is just to encourage everybody to sharpen your discernment. That's my closing statement.
Versace. It's on you, Pimp Juice.
What I would say is you know, money just enhances who you really are, and and
Hey, time out, bro. If you steal another bar of mine, so don't shout me out, bro. I promise you, I'll be in Boston. Look, you better tell him nigga. You know I catch flights.
In
You know I catch.
Boston. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting that's where he is.
yo,
Yo,
so
yo.
so
I'll be
it
right there. What street will I be on, Dimarachi, when I get there?
Blue Hill Avenue. Uh, but
Hey,
yeah,
where
money
was
just
I at when you seen me?
on Washington Street
Right, close, right down the street from where?
from Orchard Park with New Edition, where they grew up.
That's
I wasn't too far from Blue Hill Avenue, too, was I?
Nah, you wasn't too far.
Yeah.
You wasn't too far. About 7 minutes. Yeah, you weren't
You
too
didn't,
far.
I could have walked to it.
It'd took like 30 for you to walk
Nah,
to.
nah, nah.
yeah, like Love said, use your discernment, make sound decisions, and not everybody's your friend. And don't just do anything just for $1. Stand on some type of morals and principles at the end of the day. And know your business as well.
Yeah.
That's an important thing. You know, like, comment, subscribe, plug, thank you again. Plug Talk 4. We always here. And we didn't beat you up today, love.
that part.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can feel safe with this brother and sister.
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna close this out, there. I'm gonna say this, man. Fuck the diddler. Um, fuck bad boy. Don't ever sign to bad boy. Don't ever put yourself in a situation to where you're signing any paperwork for an advance that you don't have today, and you may be signing away your life or your talent. Be serious about your business. If you're in the music game, then it's important for you to know how the music game works and understand the business of the music game just as much as you got to understand how to write music, how to write bars, how to write hooks, how to be on point, how to stay in music pockets. All those things that you're learning musically and talent wise, you have to learn the business of this too, or you will be a victim because this industry it will find somebody to replace you tomorrow. On top of that, as far as our culture goes, man, y'all's trash, man. Sometimes I just want to turn in my black card, like for real. I just want to I'm gonna just be a other. You know how you got the when you fill out an application for a job, it has the races on there, and it just has other. I'm thinking about turning in my black card and just being the other because we're disgusting, man. We're the only group and people on this motherfucking planet that has not figured out a way to work together. That's why we have no power. That's why we have no resources. That's why we have nothing to fall back on. That's why nobody listens to us anymore. Yo, we used to be able to our voice was so powerful in the 60s, man. We could take over motherfucking DC, right? We could take over the Capitol. We could take over the in front of the White House, and they're gonna sit out there and let us talk our shit. And they're gonna listen, and they were gonna listen to what our demands were. We don't even have that power anymore. They're laughing at us. That's how disgusting we are. And
Mm.
of course, yeah, you look at this P. Diddy tape and it's coming from another black male, and you see the same repeated process right there between 50 and Puff. And yeah, it can be justified depending on what side you're on. I know I justified it by saying, yeah, fuck him. He did these murders for some powerful people that could have been a huge influence on our culture. But that does not justify the fact that we're still doing this to each other. You wouldn't see no Italian families doing this to each other. You wouldn't see no French motherfuckers over here doing this to each other. You wouldn't see no Jews doing this shit to each other. You wouldn't see no Africans doing this shit. You wouldn't see no Chinese doing this shit to each other. We gotta learn how to be better, and we gotta learn how to keep our shit in house. If we feel like somebody need to be punished, do it in house. If we feel like some things need to be checked, let's do it in house. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta learn from the shit we're seeing around us. We got if we don't pay attention to our past, we'll keep repeating it. And that's all I really gotta say, man, because they gonna get me on some shit that's gonna get us banned from YouTube forever. And before I get on my Malcolm X shit, I will X this motherfucking live off.
You're
Y'all know the
crazy.
rules. Y'all know the law when y'all come here. When it's time to go, you ain't gotta go home. You just gotta get the fuck out of here. Plug Talk 4. Peace and blessings.
Blessings.